on this computer. Right. All right. Well, fantastic, Danny, for coming and joining us and giving your free time again. So, and we all loved your video last week. I've had so many fantastic comments.
For not being on live.
It was brilliant because
Yeah.
so
Glad you were.
for 30 minutes, you kind of taught us so much in 30 minutes. It was brilliant.
I can talk very fast.
But you fit it in so much. It was brilliant. Yeah. So obviously.
So how do you want to run this, Joe? Do you want to just kind of like go through the questions, or do you want people who are live just to ask questions? Like what's best?
Well, I know that those people who ask questions, some of them can't get on. So if we could definitely cover those questions, but I'm sure people here have got questions as well. So
I'll tell you what, you guys have jumped on live, so let's go with you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So if anyone wants to jump in, and we'll kind of go from there.
I know Eileen's got questions, aren't you, darling?
Me? I don't know about the other Eileen.
Yeah. Go on, you kick it off then, Eileen.
Right. Okay then. Hi, Danny.
Hey, Eileen.
Good to chat to you. I've been following you on your groups, so.
I swear till I see Facebook and then real life, be like, oh, that's Eileen.
Yeah. Now you're going, oh, it's her.
You're a human. You're a real person.
Indeed. Right. What I wanted to ask was, well, a couple of questions really. You talked about the indirect conversations were the better way, and it's taking longer conversation. And then you talked about talking in Messenger. So what I was wondering, did you mean like talking like we're talking, or is it like typing talking?
Okay, so depends. Like whatever form of communication you would usually use is the one that I would recommend for you to continue using. So like me, I don't know why, but like about 3 years ago, I stopped talking on the phone because everyone seemed to stop talking on the phone. No one did it. Like if someone calls me now, I don't even know where this is coming from, but if someone calls, how dare you call me? Like I wasn't expecting a phone call. So it'd be weird for me to start calling people. I communicate with everybody, via Facebook. I don't use WhatsApp. So I wouldn't start using WhatsApp to communicate with people. I would just use the thing that I use. So it's whatever you use and whatever your audience or your prospects will engage with you on or with.
Yeah. So I suppose if you get to the point that you've had a chat with them, it's easier then. The other thing I wanted to ask you was, when you're having all these conversations with people and they're in this group and they're in that group and they're all over the show, I get lost then. I'm like, flip, who did I speak to? Where did this go? Do I write them down? What's the best way? What do you do?
Okay, so I don't teach, like, for example, to use an Excel spreadsheet, or I don't teach, to write a list down, because again, everyone's slightly different. Me personally, I didn't use anything. I just used Messenger inbox. It was in no way perfect by using that. When I was actively building, was very much a imperfect action guy. I was a doer. Like if I had to write a list, that would slow me down. So come to finding the thing that works for you. Creating lists help you as long as you're a person that likes to create lists. So there's lots of cool tools on there. Google Docs is great. Excel spreadsheet. Maybe you have a planner. We're actually designing a planner right now, so maybe you buy that in September and then use that planner. So it's whatever works best for you with that. I know that as an answer, but you will know the answer and how you like to be organized better than I will. And then I'm just going to add on, actually. I'm going to add on to that previous question, because I think there's probably a little bit more which I could have to explain with. So, not just how to communicate, but what do you do, like, to take people off platform, like more towards the end? Was that the bit you was getting at? Okay.
Well, yeah, sort of that, because you've got to the stage that you've been, contacting them and connecting with them, and then you add them on Messenger, and then you start going, hi, I'm such and such, chat. But it'd be nicer for me, I would rather talk to the person. But
Okay,
doing that
so
then?
so the six-step blueprint. Okay, so I very much through like what I did with the six-step blueprint, but the is you can add in like whatever tactic strategy that works for you within that. Keys to remember are getting engagement, right? Offline, that could be shaking a hand. Online, it might be liking a picture, subscribing to an email list, right? But it's just engagement, conversation, seek permission so that they declare the interest and the curiosity, connect emotionally, right? Let people fall in love with what it could be, logically explain how it works, and close. So it's getting around that emotional connection stage, that logical connection stage. So, for example, when we're maybe doing the logical connection, that maybe you've left them a voice note on Messenger, 6P principle I spoke of. Because hey, what happens next is I could share a video, we could meet for tea, we could jump online on Zoom, or I could just send you the video, which means how it works, what works best for you. So again, it's controlling it, and you're giving them free choice, but it allows different personality choices to decide what works best for them, right?
Yeah. I think that's helpful. Yeah. Yeah, rather than
Okay,
one
does that
size
answer your
fits
question?
all. It does. And if just
Yeah.
one more.
I go on. Yeah. Go on then.
Last
Do you have
one
another question?
is conflicting information. I get, some people say, everybody you meet, add them in Facebook, add them.
No.
Get to 5,000. The other
No.
advice is don't do that. Get rid of them all.
Definitely do not do that. Yeah, like the 3 years ago, that worked on Facebook to get to 5,000. Like it was a race to 5,000. So the advice used to be right. But the problem that you have when you're just trying to fill it up is that you don't care who it is. It's just a race to 5,000. You definitely, and Facebook, the algorithm and how that's designed is so it rewards quality, it rewards engagement, it rewards social interaction. I would say the sweet spot, I would say it's between 2,500 to 3,000. I'm sure you guys probably would have heard of Fraser Brooks. I think a couple of you guys follow him as well. Fraser is red hot on the algorithm stuff. Spoke to him last weekend. He said exactly the same. That's really the sweet spot for your friends. You will be making sure that you're adding people onto your list. But 2,500, 3,000 people, that's a lot of people. Like a lot of dead wood there. Saying get rid of people quickly, but if nothing's running there and you've not spoken to them ever, or in 6 months, 12 months, there's probably not any point to you staying a connection on Facebook with them. Being you're using Facebook as a tool to create influence, to get engagement, and rather than having 5,000 people and only 1,000 at 5,000 who actually care, okay, so let's think we have a reach of about 30%. 80% of that 30% is being wasted on people that don't engage, right? So you're limiting your reach. However, if you have 1,000 friends who are really keen, then it's 30% of all of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're better to have quality rather than quantity. Yeah. Right now, it might change again, and if so, like we'll tell you. But right now, that is definitely what is working best on Facebook anyway as a platform.
Perfect. Thank you. That's great.
You're welcome.
I'll go back to you, Joe, and you can pick someone else.
Yeah, fantastic. And I know that, in your video, when you did about the 6 steps, and we wrote them down, was it problem, pain, possibility, principle, proven, process?
Proof, process, yes.
Proof, process, yeah. So, and you gave one example.
Yeah, as in social proof, yeah.
Yeah, social proof. And you gave one example, which was great. But I just wondered if you could give us a few more examples so people get how you'd put that into an answer for somebody.
Yeah, sure. So you got to think if you're going to be doing like that 6P principle kind of messenger voice note, well, you've been speaking to people and they should have been giving you the problem. So it should be very much information which is prospect led. So let's think. Hey, most surface level things tend to be time, money, or freedom. Now, they don't tend to be the real reasons people do something, because it will be, something sat deeper, right? But it tends to be surface level. So, let's say, for example, someone wants to, let's say, stay at home with their kids. They want to stay at home with their kids. Well, why do they want to stay at home with their kids? Hate my job. I want to be at home more. I want to be a better wife. My kids are suffering and they're not doing great at school. Like, that's the problem than the pain. So, problem would be, hey, I know you mentioned that you're wanting to spend more. Thanks, Ruth. I know you're wanting to spend more time at home with the kids, and I know that you'd like to, perhaps go part-time with your current job, and going through the pain. It's frustrating because I know you want to be at home with your kids, and it's difficult though because of money, right? We need money to pay the bills, right? I'm exactly the same possibility, but I've got this thing that could help you to fix that problem, basically. So I've got this thing which has worked for me, has allowed me to go from home. I've got this thing which actually allowed my friend Sarah in exactly the same situation, but now she is home full time with the kids. Like, she's so excited, she loves it. This is how it works. Then it's going into the principles. So I don't know what system you guys follow, but I would have gone through like the 6-step blueprint. I didn't call it that when I was active in the field, but they were the processes, right? We put people online, and then we chat now. I want to make sure that you want to do this. So I ask your permission first, and then we'll maybe send a video, and you'll say, yeah, I want a bit more. Then I'll send you another video. Then I'll say a bit more, and then we'll catch up, or maybe Zoom or something, get you signed up, or meet for coffee, or one of my the boys, it might be, I'll meet you for a beer, sort of thing. Then it's the proof, right? That's your story, your success. I've done this. It's always best to live with yourself, even if you've not had success, right? Most of us associate success with money at the beginning, and I get that, right? That's kind of like what we kind of anticipated to be, but even if you haven't had on a monetary value, like, look at the results and the rewards that you've had. Maybe you've won some trips, incentives. Maybe you've grown. Maybe you've lost 30 pounds. Maybe you've got loads of friends. Maybe you've done tons of personal development. Like, there should be wins there. If you're literally brand new day one, well, your proof might be, hey, this is where I'm going. It might be your story going forward. I've literally just joined, but my friend Tony, he's been doing the business for 6 months. He's earning an extra 500 quid a month. I always find those bits, the bits, right? When you go, oh, my friend Sarah, she's been doing it for 3 years. She's earning £50,000 a month. It's amazing, and she lives all around the world. All right, especially that UK kind of vibe. It's like, oh, really? Sounds like a scam. Sounds too good to be true. So I think you can kind of hit that like a realistic figure, like, oh wow, that's pretty impressive. So it's so over the top ridiculous, even if it's true, but you've got to nurture people through a little bit. And the process is that next bit. Hey, this is what, like I said, Eileen, this is what happens next. I can send you a video, we can chat on Zoom, or maybe we could go for a coffee, something like that. Or it might be, next, we will meet for coffee, or next, I will send you a sample, or again, whatever your steps, your system you guys follow for your company. Brilliant. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. Really clear. So the proof is obviously all your wins, isn't it? Yes, I like that. But somebody asked me, how do you get to the point where they're telling you a problem?
By asking them questions.
So asking them just questions, yeah?
So, again, I think it's a thing. Sometimes people don't like to open. No. And here's, okay.
A bit of bad
conversation is someone. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it okay?
Yeah, it's a bit.
Okay, cool. So. Is it all right?
Yeah,
yes.
A bit broken up.
No.
Yeah.
Saying that your bandwidth is low.
Okay. Switch because I've got 2 in this house. So you might lose me for like 10 seconds. So it's like, Joe, you might have to ad-lib.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah. That's the wrong one.
It's these Mediterranean countries, internet shit. I'm in Cyprus.
Yeah, I think he's just gone for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought it was my internet, because my internet's can be.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're back.
Hello. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Hopefully that should be better. I'm connected into the router that's next to me rather than the one that's down the hall. I can't remember the question now. What was the question?
How do you get to the point where somebody tells you about their problem?
Okay, yes. So a very British problem is that we don't like to share things, right? So I think the first thing is to kind of go bigger picture on this. Not every single person that you speak to will be saying, hey, I hate my job, I'm looking for an opportunity, or I feel overweight and tired, and I've got no sex drive. And right, not everyone's going to be kind of like revealing that to you. And you're not looking for that. To give you a guide, we would, when we was building online, at the beginning of the month, we used to do it daily, and then it got too overwhelming to keep up. Then we used to do it weekly, and that got too overwhelming. And then we moved to, on the first of the month, we would get a ton of engagement, and we would follow up with 150 people. And we wouldn't send them, hey, join the business type post. It would literally just be, hey, how's it going? Or maybe I've just written a post about something that was on the telly. Hey, how cool was X Factor? Whatever, like to kind of just start the conversation. But we would start 150 conversations. By the end of the month, right, I wouldn't still be speaking to 150 people. Typically, on average, we'd have 2 people join every single month. So it's nice, steady growth. They're just, duplicated into the team very nicely. So the first sort of week or so, that 150 would like drop down to maybe 60, maybe 50 conversations very, very quickly. Because most conversations, they wouldn't go anywhere. Like they'd stop talking to you, or it'd just die, or they'd say, yeah, I'm busy, I'm off on holiday, I'll catch you in a bit, or whatever. Like it's just an awkward, difficult conversation. So not everything has to be a win there. You get in that first reason why, second reason why, third reason why, it's just kind of dropping down, right? It's, these conversations, they die off. It's my belief, building in an indirect way, that it's going to happen, right? It happens if it's direct, the conversation dies. It happens if it's indirect. But with indirect, at least you haven't killed it forever. So you can strike up the conversation again next month or in a couple of weeks later. So, you can kind of keep continuing to build on the rapport building. So it's almost like you're building your pipeline. Sometimes if people are not forthcoming with information, you have to go first. So let me give an example of what that means. If I said to you, for example, Joe, hey, how's work? And you went, it's all right. I could be left with where do I go from here? That's a difficult conversation, right? And it could kill some conversations sooner than you'd want them. So instead, I could just go back to you and say, okay, cool. Oh, I'm finding work really stressful at the moment, or I am hating the commute right now. Just to kind of give them a little bit of something first. It doesn't always have to be you moaning or you negative. It's just for me to give the example here. But by you going first and kind of dropping that sort of thing in, I get, I'm hating the commute right now myself. That 2-hour commute is a killer. They might say, oh, I know what you mean. And then you say, oh, how's everything else? How's your boss? Oh, yeah, he's being awful at the moment. You see how he can just start to pull the conversation a little bit more? So offer something first, and then it helps people's resistance and barriers to just drop down a little bit as well.
Yeah. Okay. Has anybody else got anything to add or questions about that? Want to put your hand up because I've muted you all right. Or you can put it in the chat box.
You have so many people on this call, Joe. Wow, look at you go. What a team.
Well, we had about 38 registered last week. So, but a lot of them just couldn't make it tonight. So, but they're all going to listen to the recording, so don't worry. Right. Well, the other thing, I know I sent you some questions. Gillian's she's got 2 questions. So can I go over to Gillian? Right, I'll unmute you, Gillian. Oh, I've just muted you. Right, Gillian.
I'm unmuted. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so my two questions are: number one, how obvious are you? I don't know about what you're doing, because I've been like very much a lurker on Facebook and like talked in the groups and things, but not really been a public person. So I don't want to come straight out and say, yeah, I've got this stuff now. So I don't know at what point you become obvious.
You don't have to ever.
Like never, right? Okay.
If you don't want to. So is the second question connected with that, or do you want to kind of?
No, that's completely separate.
Okay, right. I'll jump into this one first. So it's my belief that the majority of people who are involved in the network marketing industry, one of the main reasons that they fail is because the system, like the system that we follow at the moment, traditional systems, are very much designed for extroverted, like big characters, who kind of thing we meet face to face. You've got to have a certain amount of charisma or magnetism or something about you, to make people like you. Or, you're at a hotel and you stood at the front of a room, doing a presentation. You've got to have some decent presentation skills. And that is why those people can do it, because they're good at that. But the rest of us, like, we suck at that. Like, the reason I built my business online is because, like, put me in a room full of people, I hate it. Like, I suck at small talk. I don't really want to talk to people. I don't really mix well with other humans. Like, I'm really awkward. I'm a lot better than I used to be because I've had to be. But, like, it definitely wasn't a skill that I possessed. So, how does that then tie in with, like, building this and I'm going to call it like being introverted. I don't know whether I'm on the ball with that, Gillian, but I kind of get that vibe. Is that what you mean, Gillian? Yeah.
I'm not necessarily an introvert, but I'm a private type of
private.
person.
Okay. So we'll use the word private. So, like, for example, like in our coaching group, the VIP, like we have lots of teachers and teachers, they can't post certain information on social media because of, whatever, the kids and stuff. So, the key thing is you don't have to have this big, huge profile to make your social media work. Instead, engagement can be generated in one of two ways. Engagement onto you is passive, like that's attraction marketing as such. You actively going and engaging on other people's, or you going into Facebook groups, which are perhaps secret or closed groups, so people aren't going to see that information anyway that you're posting. That's you actively prospecting, and you're just creating engagement. So then you can have a conversation via Messenger or in the inbox or a quick Messenger chat, and then you speak to them on the phone or email or however you want to do it, because that's where you feel most comfortable to speak. But you don't have to be a character as such. You can remain very private. I'd actually love to be active in the field, just to kind of prove the point that it's my belief that you can build an entire network marketing business without having ever mentioned your company, without ever mentioning your products, and just not even really doing anything on your social media. You still use social media as a tool, but you just wouldn't have to post about it on your profile. So it can definitely be done, Gillian. Hopefully that gives you a couple of ideas and answers that question.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
Do you want the second question?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is a technical thing. So something that happened to me on Saturday was I messaged a couple of people, and that pesky messenger thing when you've got half a dozen different ones open on your screen and you've got typing, and it seems to press send by itself, and you've written half the message and you haven't changed the name. And is there a way around that?
Don't copy and paste, it sounds like, if you're getting the name wrong.
I was well aware that I had to, but
or I'm
typing into the wrong box. So
okay, where is it? Right, I'm just gonna share my screen here. So I'll just kind of give you some basic tech advice on this. So like here, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So if I just press in the middle, it just drops it down. If you just want to get rid of it, get rid of it. If you want to head over to Messenger, because actually what you want to have is a conversation. We think, oh, actually I've clicked on my mum and I didn't really deal with that, and I want to have a reminder. this is what I do. I just click here and I just mark it as unread.
Oh.
Because all of these now I'm like, right, okay, I need to go back to my mum, because in 5 hours time I would forget. But now it's like, it's unread, so it's almost like it's a to-do list. So I use it like that, or it's like you just cross things to get rid of them.
So you're saying just have one open on the screen, because if they reply, they're going to pop up.
Basically, every time someone sends you a message, it will be down here and it'll go bing, and it'll just pop up because it'll tell you. So if I haven't read that and I just drop that straight down, right, you'll see that Ray's message is there. Sometimes it drops, sometimes it doesn't. Well, I'm just going to click mark as unread because I've got it out of the way. I've hidden it, but I haven't actually dealt with that. It's pretty much the only functionality that you can really do to manage that.
I must say, I'm just impressed that my name was up there next to Ray Higdon's.
And you'll be, well,
you should have screenshotted it.
I'll tell you in a bit what Ray Higdon messaged me as well. It'll make you laugh.
And saying that, Joseph Abor is brilliant.
How are you going on with Joseph Abor? Yeah, cool. I have questions, Gillian. Is that okay?
That's good. Yeah, basically I should just shut them down, shouldn't I? But that was what frightened me on Saturday when I sent off 3 and 2 were immediately back to me, and then
it can get a bit confusing.
It's just practice, consistency.
And I've done that, and I'm thinking, shit, I've sent wrong message to someone, and
I've done it. I did it. I used to send out a message, hey Sarah, send it to Kimberly. And I even did it when I first started the VIP. Kimberly Evans, who's in the VIP. In fact, I just do it now to wind her up. Give a different name. Sorry, I did a copy and paste message. Like, obviously she's not messing about, but whatever. It happens. We all start somewhere.
On that point, could I just ask, we noticed today, because Karina was working with me today, and we went back to look at some people that we haven't connected with for a long time. And then Karina went, I'm cringing. Because obviously in the past, she'd sent like a bit of a spammy kind of messages.
So how do we
wondered, how can you do the damage control, and bring that credibility back?
Yep, really easy. Literally just go back to the beginning of that 6-step blueprint. So rather than just going back into and I used to do it, and it's the most soul-destroying thing in the world, where you're looking like 1, 2, 3, like, oh my God, like I've really spammed this person before. What do I do? Go back, get the engagement, and like you guys are smart, right? Just use some emotional intelligence. If you really hammered this person and spam them, right, don't just go like one picture straight into the inbox, right? Just kind of calm it down a little bit, just kind of keep that posture. And it might be that you like and comment, and maybe they didn't reply back. Do you know what? A couple of days later, maybe you go into their profile again and you comment on a couple more things. And if they're then starting to engage, great, then re-strike up the conversation. Don't then just go bang straight into the business opportunity, because, it's kind of been done. You've got to rebuild that trust up sometimes, because the thing we've got to remember is people like to buy, but they don't like to be sold to. So, it's the whole thing of network marketing. It's not you guys trying to tell and sell as many people as possible. We're not in the telling game, we're in the talking game. And a messenger, you sending a message to someone, isn't a conversation. That's you just like pointing and telling a lot of people something. You need to strike up a conversation so it's back and forth, because that's how you'll get people to open up more. When they open up more, lower resistance, they're more open to like receiving information, having a conversation with you. And these people are going to be more likely to say yes to trying a product, or at least a sample, yes to watching your business opportunity video, or yes to a presentation, whatever it might be. And hopefully the point is they join the business.
Brilliant. Well, earlier, because I said to you something about attraction marketing, and you said I'm not doing attraction marketing. So what would you call it? Relationship marketing?
I wouldn't give it a name really for anything. I'm terrible at naming things, so whatever, social media thingy-majingy or something. I think the only reason I said that, because the biggest problem that I see in network marketing is that there are some really great fundamentals, but it's like Chinese whispers. and everybody's kind of ruined like what was the original concept. So it's kind of just become this lost thing, and what was being direct is now being spammy, and what was attraction marketing and kind of connecting with people on an emotional level is like this life design, fake it till you make it kind of brigade. And that's why I try to distance myself from it, because it's not that. I've never studied attraction marketing as a model or bought it's basically just a guy who packaged it. It's a course basically, and everyone kind of cotton onto the name. But the fundamentals are there. But for me, all marketing should be attractive, right? Why would you try and, to a degree, you should have some level of repulsion because you want to put off the people that aren't your kind of people. But I'm sure you guys ain't wanting to polarize your audience and, say that you don't like people. I'm sure you're not wanting to do that. So all marketing should be attraction marketing, because why would you want to put off people? But the best way to do that is by being yourself and being real, because you are good enough always.
Perfect. Dee. Yeah.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, Dee.
You just mentioned there before about cultural differences, and then about, quite rightly, alternative ways of marketing. If you were trying to move into other markets, we're open in 15 countries. Is there a different approach? I mean, always be yourself, but do you find, I don't know, I mean, I believe the German market's really big. Is it more direct? What tips could you sort of think about from that perspective?
I would get a German speaker and pass over responsibility. That I had this exact conversation with Eric Worre, and
we're almost identical, aren't we?
Great line.
Who would have ever thought my name would be mentioned with his in the same sentence?
I never thought I'd be stood in his ass, but these things happen, don't they? Right? So yeah, it's funny. You spend a year slagging off GoPro, and then you go to his house. Funny old world, really. So I was talking to him about this, and it's not an approach that I'd ever considered before. And I thought, what? It's really smart, actually. And he said he loves going to countries where he doesn't speak the language, because then he just has to pass it over. These are the systems. Go do your thing, and it creates leadership really quickly. I know that's a very nice ideological maybe way of thinking about it. I think it's kind of a cool idea, because English is only spoken in so many countries. I think it's, to a degree, it's hard to let go, right? We all tend to be a little bit controlling. Oh, I want the team to do this, and it has to be done like this. And I think if you can let go of that stuff, like, your team will grow with abundance. But I know that doesn't give you the detail of perhaps what you need for those beginning conversations. So my advice would be, know your system very well. Teach on principles. Don't teach on tactics. A tactic would be, for example, teaching on speak to everyone within 3 feet of you. The Facebook algorithm. That's a tactic. Focus on proven principles, right? So if you want to use that 6-step blueprint, for example, engagement, conversation, right? Doesn't matter what country in the world you're in, the same applies. But in Germany, maybe they are more direct. So there's no point you going there and saying, okay, with a conversation, it's got to be indirect, and you've got to build relationship and blah, 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 because you don't know. And I don't know. And that company doesn't really know until in a marketing way, you'd go there and you'd test, right? You'd say, try it direct. How does that work? Okay, let's try it indirect. How does that work? Ooh, there's definitely a better response here, direct. Okay, let's all go more direct. That's the only way that you can ever really truly know. But if you give people the principles, you can let them figure out the tactics of how to achieve each of those principles. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Good one. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Okay. Anybody else got a question? Lara, have you got some? Sure you have. Don't know where she's gone.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there.
I was muted out because there's a lot of noise in the background. I've just been listening in, and actually pretty much all the questions that have been asked were on my list. I've always had a real blockage about what I post. I think it's the Irish in me. You know, we're not, it's that guilt. You're brought up not to have fun, not to tell anyone what you're up to. That private thing is a big thing, not to show off, not to have an ego, not to have everything. And as a result, every time I post, I feel, but actually when I do post, I do get lots of engagement. So for me, my biggest thing is getting my personality out on social media, because when I do, I get interaction, I get, you know, you were just talking about attraction marketing or whatever, but I do get a response. So that's my whole back. I have no problem messaging behind the scenes. I love all your I've been doing your 15 3
15 10.
that one. Yeah. Setting the timer on my phone, being really strict with my time, and it's working. And also I've noticed that you know, who's coming up in my timeline is changing as well, because it tends to be a lot of the same people. So that's something I really, and I watched that video.
Let me give you a tip. Let me share with you a tip, guys. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen and I'm going to show you my Facebook. So move that over here. Where is it? So let's move over there because I can't see everything. Lists. Here we go. So does everyone know how to create a list on Facebook?
No.
Okay. So let's say 3-15-10. Okay. Does everyone know what that means? Everyone? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you, right, just in case someone doesn't, 3 times a day, set aside 15 minutes, go and engage on 10 people's profiles, basically. So there are 3 steps, 3 stages to that. Your first one is scattergun, right? I'm just in the timeline. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to spend 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to comment on this guy's post. And, oh, yeah, this one's talking about dads. Yeah, cool. It's me again. See, I'm everywhere on social media. And again. There we go. So, I'm going to comment on this stuff. And, yeah, I'm going to comment on Beck's stuff. And, right, that's it. You know, I have no idea if this is really my focused target audience. I'm just, whatever. I'm just kind of getting it out there. Or maybe I've gone into a group and I've spent 15 minutes commenting on 10 people's posts in the group. So it's a scattergun approach. After that, I want to start thinking about becoming a little bit more laser focused. So I can create a friends list. So I could create a list and I'm going to call this my warm list, for example. Now I'm going to add Joe on. And I'm going to pretend I'm a network marketer and my network marketing company's VIP Life, right? That's my coaching group. Maybe Joe, she's shown an interest a lot recently. I could add Joe as a member into this list. And, I'm going to put the wife on this list as well. And then I can click create. And then what happens is I've gone onto this warm list and okay, right, I need to have a few more people on this, right? Normally you'll probably add maybe 15, 30 or 100 people you could add. This could be your 100 person list. And then all that happens is it's just those people in my timeline. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not everyone else. And then so I've got maybe 100 person list and then I could have a hot list. I'm like, right, these are the people who have tried my product. So she has, Eric Worre has, they have, right? So I've maybe sent out samples to these 9 or 10 people this month. Okay, so that's my hot list. So I want to make sure they've had a sample. There's a process on social media called relevancy and omnipresence. So, and information. So you want to be relevant to them all of the time, giving them the right information at the right time. Okay, so it's the right message at the right time so they see it. So I don't know when is the right time for them, but I can have these people. So I'm like, right, Hannah, okay, yeah, I'm just going to hit a love heart there. Maybe I'm just going to, hey, Hannah, right, I'm just going to kind of, tag her name into that as well so she sees it. I'm just being present in their life. I'm not pitching. I'm not selling. I'm not doing anything. But they're going to go, oh, Danny. Oh, Danny. Oh, Danny. Oh, Danny. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you don't always have to be selling because people know what it is that you've got. People know that you've got a product or it's there, but you just need to be forever kind of present. And then the more that you engage on their profile, you see, what happens is you then are popping up in their timeline all the time because I just see Danny everywhere. Like, but a lot of people say that now. To see me often, and you know, Joe, you're smiling and nodding because you probably see me a lot in your time, right? Because you're engaging on my stuff. I engage on your stuff. We're in the inbox having a conversation. Facebook's going to go, you guys are best friends, right? More of Danny and Joe's timeline. And that's how the algorithm works, you see. So scattergun approach, maybe a list of 100 people, that warm list, and then you can have that red hot list as well.
Danny, that's so helpful. My goodness, that's gold in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, we never need that.
Yeah, but one question is you can post specifically so that list. So if I wanted to put out a list, say our Irish prospects, okay, we've just opened the Irish market, and I'm thinking,
yep. You can put specific content to specific people. Yeah.
So I put it out so that, and I could put Irish team in there as well. So it's like,
yes.
I'm going to do an event, can't wait, so exciting, and it makes sure they all see it, and it's just them. And my friend down the road's not going, what's she on about? Sort of thing.
Yeah, correct. So that is right. I can just type in here, and then public. Who can see a story? Friends and connections, friends. So you can just, you know, change this, you know, what do you want it to be? You know, certain friends. Facebook just updated this. Okay, there was a little bit more functionality to this, but it's been changed. You could do more, but okay, maybe you can. I'm sure I can still do that on my phone. I don't know. Facebook has brain farts sometimes and does stupid things, and it comes back again a couple of days later. So.
I think Julie's just asked a question in the chat. She's put, do you ever reply using a photo or video in the comment?
You can do. Yeah. I mean, a comment is a comment. I mean, I love to drop a GIF in there, or, you know, a little emoji or something. I don't know when it would be video. I don't know whether that's what you maybe mean, like the GIF videos and stuff, by that question. But yeah, absolutely. Engagement is engagement.
Yeah. And then obviously we know, and we've been taught, you know, not to put LifeVantage out there, Botandem, never mentioning the word and everything.
Yeah.
So when like Laura was saying about putting content out there, I was telling you earlier about Becky Taylor said that she wanted to interview me, and I've been watching Becky Taylor's videos, and they're amazing, and the content is fab. But of course, she does keep saying, "Oh, and LifeVantage and Little Yellow Pill." So, and she talks about Botandem. So then I think, I can't really have her interview me on my timeline if she's going to keep mentioning the name of the product, because I want to create that curiosity, don't I?
Yeah. So obviously we've already spoken about this, Joe. But like every opportunity that's given to you, you've got to think, what is the potential leverage for me? Because that's what social media is leverage and scale. If I'm walking down the street, I can speak to one person at a time, unless I've got a megaphone and I then start trying to take over the high street and I'm trying to speak to 100 people at a time. But then, you know, someone's probably going to call the police and think I'm a nutter, right? But then there's can anyone hear in the background the police siren? There's a police siren. Literally just kind of said that. But on social media, right, the whole point of it is leverage and scale, because, you know, I'm not going onto Facebook and then adding one person, having one conversation. Okay, now let's go to the next. It's not that. It isn't one-on-one. It's one to many. So you've always got to think about the opportunity on social media is how you can leverage it best. So I'm going to use the example that Joe's given. So what does Joe want to achieve from that? Does Joe want to achieve from that conversation sales into her business? Does she want to achieve business builders into her business? Like, what's the result that she's trying to get? Because that interview that she has, that communication with her, like, it needs to be tailored to suit the value given to the target audience of who she's trying to assist. Because let's say she's trying to sell products, right? She just wants to sell some, you know, more of the yellow pill. There's no point kind of talking about business and mindset and all that stuff for 30 minutes. It's a waste of a Facebook Live. Alternatively, right, if you're trying to get people into the business, there's no point just talking about how amazing the product is all the time. So you've got to think about how you can position it to what it is you're trying to achieve. I'm not going to kind of go into our conversation because I don't know whether you've announced what you're doing, Joe, and stuff, but you got to think about how you can get the greatest level of impact from the thing that you're doing. What's her name? It's Becky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the other thing to consider with network marketing. When you first start and you're at the bottom, you've got no influence, right? No one cares. No one believes in you. You've got no social proof. And that's where it's the maximum, where all your friends and family are saying, ain't going to happen, not going to work. And then you start to get a little bit, and you still don't want to be talking about your company name or the product's name and revealing it too much outwardly, in my opinion. Some people may say you can. I think don't. The reason being is that as soon as you mention it, right, it's hard because then everyone knows what it is. And you still haven't got to that level of influence yet where it doesn't matter if you tell everyone what it is. So you need to keep pushing until you're, and there'll be a level in your organization where you know where you kind of made it. It might not be top rank, but it'll be kind of up there where you're established, you're starting to earn a nice, steady, full-time average UK income from this. And you can say to someone, hey, I made a success of this network marketing thing. And people don't go, ooh, one of those. They go, oh, well done, respect. It changes. It goes from people questioning your integrity to, oh, well done, you did it. I'm not interested, but I'm proud of you if you're doing it. Well done, buddy. And it changes. That is when you can start saying, I'm the company person. This is the company name. Because all of a sudden you're not marketing to people externally in the same way. You're marketing to your downline to a degree because you need them to be proud of the company. But it's then a different message. LifeVantage did this for me, as opposed to I'm trying to find people so I can get to that stage. Does that make sense to everyone? Hopefully it does.
I get it now, yeah. Thank you. That was brilliant.
No worries.
Anybody else got a question?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, Danny, what did you do before you did this?
Who's that? I can't find who it is.
D.
Hello, D. So my career path was this. I was pretty smart at school. Like I did very well GCSEs, like 8 A stars, 3 A's, couple of B's. But I hated school. So I started my A levels, but I didn't finish them. My dad was in the building trade. I then started working for the council as a building surveyor because I had visions of moving into becoming an architect. I basically was in the job for 3 years and had I'm not going to call it a midlife crisis, but I had something. I was like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. And so I went traveling for about 6 months, came back, moved into financial services. So insurance products initially, then very quickly moved into like mortgages, investments, pensions, all that kind of stuff. Ended up then running my own mortgage business as a managing director for probably about 4 years. So I've had about 8-9 years in financial services, 3-4 in like local authority, building inspector kind of roles. And then obviously there was the overlap of network marketing whilst I was still in financial services. So that's my background.
I was just curious when you said before about keeping people on track, and people who know you sort of from a previous life are always a bit more skeptical to listen to you in this new life of network marketing. 100%. And that's what made me ask, because you do get the point until you are at that level to prove you're a success that the people are just a little bit wary to take it on. Yeah,
and so they should be. Like, you need to prove your worth.
That's it. It's like anything else, any other job.
Yeah.
I just wondered what the flip over was.
Yeah. So that was it. It takes time. If I declared today, said, right, I'm going to run the 4-minute mile, right? People would say, you're an idiot, Danny. They wouldn't believe it. But if I'd been training for 3 years and then I did it, they'd go, okay, you deserve that because you've been doing the work.
That's right.
That's all it is. You just got to prove it. Some people will give you the hope in the beginning. Some people won't. Some will, some won't. So what? Yeah.
If you don't believe it, they never believe it.
There's something in that. And I'm glad that you said that. When you're surrounded by and you speak to the high level leadership in network marketing, the one thing that always time and time again stands out with them is that they knew they was getting to the top. And I have no doubt that when I was active in the field, me saying, I'm going to do this by this day, and telling that story helped me to get there, because I declared the intention. I told people about it. Like, it was kind of part of the fun, like getting there together as part of the journey. We're doing that now with our coaching company. You know, the goal is 10 years to fill a 20,000 seater arena, right? Whatever happens in between, I don't know. Like, it'd just be a lot of fun, like trying to get there. It's just a goal. It's a bit of fun along the way. But there's definitely something in you having the confidence and the conviction of not pretending. You've got to have the belief there that I'm going there, and then you've got to do the work to get you to there. There's definitely something in that.
Thanks.
Can I just ask then, because you had great success quickly, didn't you, when you came into network marketing?
It was pretty quick, yeah.
How quick was it?
So the company I was with, there was 4 rank levels. So we got to the 3rd rank level in 16 months. That was the speed ready to get there, and so quickly. The company average was 3.5 years. So we like knocked a couple of years off that. The first year we was trying, but was kind of trying to do it offline, online. We hadn't really figured it out. And then our business completely disappeared. I was like, right, screw this. I'm not following the old system of doing product pies, because I do not want to rub women's feet. Like, I love you ladies, but I don't want to rub your feet. I don't care how much money I'm getting paid. That's not what I want to do for my job. And, we didn't want to, like, we had 3 kids. Like, we didn't have time to get out of the house. Like, we didn't have time to go for coffee with each other, my wife and I. Never mind meeting someone from school that I've not spoken to for 20 years. I didn't have the interest at the time to do it. So hence why we kind of figured out this social media thing and how we can start to build the business. And, we spent 1 to 2 hours a day on our business 4-ish, maybe 5 times a week when it really started to hot up. Like, that was because that was all we could commit to it. We had busy full-time careers. We had 3 kids. It got to 9 p.m. Great. Let's have something on in the telly in the background. We'll get on our laptops and we'll start talking to people, and we'll start sending a link to people. And, oh, by the way, well, yeah, great team Zoom talk like this, and every now and then. And that was it. But it was just consistently just doing that 1 to 2 hours every week. The hardest thing on social media is having the discipline of doing a lot of work in 1 to 2 hours, because it's very easy to waste 1 to 2 hours. I afford myself the luxury every now and then. I'll just kind of scroll on the phone. I think, wow, that's an hour. That's an hour of my life I've wasted scrolling on Facebook. I've achieved nothing. So you can lose a lot of time. So focused discipline is definitely a skill that you need to acquire fast to increase the productivity, which increases the speed, increases the urgency, increases the momentum, which then increases the growth of the company which you're looking to build.
Mm. And that did really was evident, because last week when you couldn't get on the call, and I just thought, wow, that shows consistency and that you were true to your word, because you said, Joe, I can't make it, but I'll make you a video. And the video was really
literally, right? I did it on the laptop, and I sent it via WeTransfer, and it said it was about 22% uploaded, 45 minutes left. But they're literally getting on the plane. I'm like, and I said to the bloke, I said, look, I'm trying to upload a video. I was like, what? It's like, you've got 5 minutes. I'm thinking, wait, it says 45 minutes this download. So then I tried YouTube on my laptop. That was saying 45 minutes. I said, right, YouTube on my phone. So then YouTube on my phone, and it happened to be quicker on my phone. And then literally I'm on the plane. I'm sat on the plane. You're not allowed to be on your phone anymore. I'm like, come on. And it literally just went in, and the plane went poof, and took off. So it just literally just squeezed in, but we got it done.
I think that was a lesson for all of us, that, despite what's going on in your life, if you've said you're going to do something, do it.
Yes. Discipline is definitely a needed skill in that.
Discipline, definitely. And that's something I need to work on. Yeah. Has anybody got any questions anymore?
I think that's been great. It's been fabulous.
No?
Not for now. We'll have for sure, but later, but not in a minute.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Have we been on an hour?
There was.
Yeah, it's been exactly an hour.
If it's okay, there was one question I wanted to add, because it was a really great one that you dropped into my inbox.
All right, yeah.
So the question was, so Danny, his stepped approach implies that there is success at the end. What would he do, say, if it doesn't end in a sale? It would be weird to stop the conversation that has built up, as that would signify that the whole thing was a setup. So this is basically what to do when people will say no to you, because people will say no to you at some point. So if we think about the 6 steps, I'm just going to kind of start at the bottom. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At step 1, engagement. No one can say no to you at engagement. Step 2, conversation. They can say no there. They can say no at step 3. They can say no anywhere between step 2 and step 6. So we need to have a place to put these people. So a great idea is to have perhaps a Facebook group if you look to use social media. So perfect. I would recommend, is it product and business, or is it a bit of both?
It's product.
Okay. So you want to have a product business, and does everyone add people into this product group, the whole team? Perfect.
It's prospecting group for customers.
So is it products, or is it
just
business?
Products? Just product, that one. And
Okay,
we're just about to launch a business prospecting one as well.
Perfect. They definitely want to be separate.
Yeah.
The product group, add them in. But as soon as someone says no, which is fine, okay, cool. By the way, can I add you to this Facebook group? Here's the link, which tells you a little bit more about the product so you can find out some more.
Yeah.
Right? They then at least go into a space. If it's the business, again, you can send them to this business one. If I was to give you some very quick advice on creating a Facebook group for product and business, product, all about social proof, social proof, social proof. So, if you can get videos in there, awesome. But underneath the videos, that's where you want to have your client testimonials. So think of it like Amazon. And when you go into Amazon to buy something, or Currys or John Lewis or whatever, you go on there, and then if you've never seen it before and it's the first time you're buying it online, you check out the reviews, right? So you go to the reviews, 5 star, 5 star, 3 star, 1 star. Well, there's always one person who's like that. Okay, I'm going to give it a go. So if you've got your Facebook group, and it's powerful having all of you, because it's just bigger numbers, bigger social proof. You've got this yellow pill product. Here's a 2-minute commercial video. I tried this product and lost 10 pounds, or whatever it does, the yellow pill. I lost 15 pounds. I had this incredible energy after trying this product. It was amazing. I loved it. As soon as you then tag people into that post, they're just going, wow, look at all these results. Wow, this video is great. They will just buy it without having to try it or have a sample of the product. It's social proof, works really effective. On the business side, people don't care about your uplines. I know that it's always like a bit of an ego dent because they think they've got amazing stories, and they do, but strangers don't care. They don't care that some random person's earning £100,000 a month who used to be a stay-at-home mom and swim and coach the swim team, right? They don't care, but they do love celebrities. So because they know celebrities, right? So I'd get as much celebrity endorsement in there. Richard Branson talked about the MLM industry, Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, people who they would know. I don't know if you've got any celebrity connections with your company at all, but get those in there. Okay. They're really powerful because people trust celebrities, even though they shouldn't because they're just paid, but whatever, right? It's perception and influence. They will trust Tony Robbins more than they'll trust your upline who they don't know. So that's the other thing just to consider that has been proven to work really effectively in groups that we've run ourselves and other things. Donny Osmond, get Donny and Maria in there.
Yeah.
Little picture, like Forever Young, Donny. Like, that's a great advertisement.
Yeah, well, he's on our product, so that's
perfect.
Glad you mentioned him. Yeah.
Yeah, Gillian Hall dropped a message in there. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's everything fantastically covered.
Yeah.
Anybody else got a question before we say goodbye?
I've got one.
Go on, Dee.
Danny, this is nothing to do with network marketing.
Okay.
But do you think Tom Kirkman is behind everything in Designated Survivor?
Well, I don't want to engage in the conversation because I'm not far enough ahead yet to say. I don't know, and I don't want you to reveal anything and ruin it to me.
I'm not going to reveal it. It's just a question.
Well, I feel like you've revealed something to me now, and I'm like, oh no.
That's a question.
Has she been a spoiler?
Well, it never came into my head to think that before. So they're telling me there's problems.
Video.
I don't know, but I do love Designated Survivor. Definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Danny.
No worries.
I think
Well,
everybody is going to say a huge thank you.
No worries. By the way, I don't know, are most people in the group, Joe? Is that a thing? I don't know.
I'm not sure if they are, because you do know that Danny's got a free group that people join. Yeah, I think most of the people here are.
Okay, cool. Well, if not, just add me on Facebook, Danny Clark, or our group. If you want to search for it, it's called The Free Life for Network Marketers with Dan and Liz. Or Joe will give you a link or something. I am absolutely sure.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
See you later, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Cheers, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for organising that.
I think he's gone, hasn't he? Wow.
Sorry, I had
Wasn't that fantastic?
Thank you, Joe. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, well done.
There was some real special little nuggets in there.
Wasn't there? Because
that create a list. Woohoo! Yeah.
That thing in Facebook, I had no idea you could do that.
I didn't know that. Yeah. And
that was actually on that Fraser Brooks thing as well.
Dawn's dogs are barking. I'll just mute her. Go on. Yeah, I can hear you.
It was on Fraser Brooks training as well. Was that the other day?
Was it?
Yeah.
Good.
But this is it. There's lots of clever stuff on there. It's just knowing it and practicing it.
Yeah, it was really good. But I knew about the list, as in you could create a list and you could do a post if you only wanted those people to see it. But I didn't realise you could actually just see their timelines. That's really good if you kind of, because I made a list of 30 people last week, 3 lots of 30 people that I was going to go, okay, I'm going to go and make sure I engage with them, you know, 2 or 3 times a week so that they see more of me. And like that's now that done, isn't it?
Much easier way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah. And also, it just means like,
especially if they're, you know, they're, like you said, the hot list and they're interested and stuff like that. You don't want your family to see and that kind of stuff. You can just now go whoosh away from all that, can't you? That's brilliant.
I had to go say goodnight to children, so I missed probably the last 15-20 minutes. Was there anything?
Oh, did you? Well, it's all recorded, so I'll get it to you.
Fine, I'll fast forward to that bit. Thank you. Sorry, I literally came in and was writing. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, he answered all our questions, isn't he? And I can't remember what was happening in the last 15 minutes to tell you the truth. Somebody remind me.
Groups, Joe. It was about the groups, you know.
The groups.
Oh, yes, the groups. So he's kind of just telling us to do what we're doing, which is, you know, people can say no to, because, that's what you did.
And it's where to park the people whenever they'd said no at the end of it.
Yeah, Joe Abel had asked a question, which was, you know, the way that Danny's teaching it is assuming that it's going to come out with a positive result. What if it comes out with a negative result and somebody says no to you? You know, if you just stop the conversation, it'll look like it's all been set up kind of thing. And he said that what you should do is if somebody gets to the point where they're showing no or whatever, you just say to them, could I add you to a group that we've formed? And then they still get that filtered information. So that's what we're doing anyway. But he was saying to keep it separate, you know, the prospecting group for customers and prospecting group for distributors. And that's what we're setting up as well, isn't it? We're setting up a distributor prospecting group.
Yeah. I think it was also really interesting, you know, to hear he doesn't like talking to people. He's not the person at the front of the room who's, you know, va-va-voom and all of that, because, you know, it just shows you that if we can master what he's learned.
But he is now, because like he said, you go on Facebook, he's on Facebook Lives about 2 or 3 times a day, you know, so he is everywhere now. Well, he didn't start off like that. So we've all got to think, you know, and I liked how he said to Gillian, you know, you can do it all privately. You don't need to be blasting out. to tell you the truth, I've built my business so far where we're up to now, all through Messenger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're very good at your public posts.
I don't really do many public posts. When I look back at my public posts, I might do one a week, which is something businessy. But most of it, it's nothing to do with business. But I do make sure I go into Messenger, and I'm constantly message people. And I've been doing it for years before I even got into network marketing. So it's just a flow that I've got into. That's how I communicate with people. I don't text, I don't phone. Messenger is my way of communicating. So that's what I just do. It's natural to me, it's easy to me. And I've just built relationships with people over years. So it's not that I've suddenly just got and go, oh, hello, I'm doing Life Vantage. They, over a period of time, they've known that I've been in health and wellness, and I care for people, and I want to help. And you just build that kind of persona about yourself, which is true.
Yeah.
And people start to know, like, and trust you, don't they?
Yeah, but I think you're very consistent in general posting and portraying your personality and who you are, which I think is lovely. And lots of you are doing that. I'm just, while we're all on, because I wanted to get Joe and Charlie and Eileen on a call and talk about the Improve Your Health group. I think that we need to kind of collectively bring that group back to life and create a bit of noise in there. I know I'm probably the worst contributor and noisemaker, but I'm just, all the stuff I'm watching, learning, reading, my Jab Hook, all these books are saying this is what we should be doing. And I also think, what I was looking at something today, and they were saying that, I know a lot of the time we've put in stuff there that's adding value in terms of health, but it's kind of confusing.
I think you're right about that. And just his tip then about creating it as a business page and using celebrities, because actually that clicked into kind of the way I would think about it. But if you use Donny Osmond, as Gillian came up with as an example, there's an age range, there's a perception of a profile there. You could target in that way a group of people that you can't normally just pick up at random. Maybe we need to be more selective and targeted into how we put the group together. So you could have a rolling program. If you have there are a number of celebrities who actually endorse this product, but we don't actually use them.
No. That's why he was saying, Laura, you may probably missed that. He was saying in our prospecting group to have people like Tony Robbins, people who are very credible in the network marketing industry, self-development industry, in the prospecting group, sharing what their views are about network marketing. Robert Kiyosaki, about, that kind of thing. And then obviously in the prospecting group, we're going to be talking more about customers, so celebrities who are taking our products, so Montel Williams, Donny Osmond, that kind of thing. But I think what we need to do as a team is get better at supporting each other in that group.
Yeah.
Because, I might put a post in there and then nobody comments on it, nobody likes it, nobody makes a comment about it, and it dies.
Yeah.
So well, maybe. And it should be like all of us in there putting content in there, not just Laura, Charlie, and a few others. It's got to be everybody. It's our group.
Well, one thing, I know we don't want another WhatsApp group, but there is an element. There are more WhatsApp groups, but or a Facebook Messenger group, but Lisa has that for the biohacking group. So confusing that we have Improve Your Health and then we have biohacking, but she'll put in and say, go make some noise for this thing, and everybody goes and does that, and it's just purely on the group. It's a messenger group run for the Facebook group, and just going back to what you were saying about when I first looked at this business, there was no Team Heart website or anything. I went and sat on YouTube for like 3 or 4 weeks every night, going Protandim Ann menopause, Protandim Ann neuropathy, Protandim Ann M&S, and I was watching a lot of the Parkinson's, a lot of the videos that you guys might have all seen are taking the time. Now they're borderline kind of claiming to cure, prevent, treat, mitigate. But if this is a private group, we should be sharing those. And also, I've just got together all the testimonials I've written out from my BNI group, which is people kind of openly saying this is amazing. Like, we can slightly cross the line in those groups with the content we provide for the customer prospecting group. We can use the YouTube videos, but I also think we need more European voices. So something that, again, I have said I was going to do, I've asked a couple of people, I've said, can I do a quick 2-minute video testimony of you sharing how you're getting on the product, so I can post it in my group? Because somebody writing a letter about how she's not got hip pain at night anymore is all good, but when it's a European voice, people are going to be more compelled by that. So we are whatever 14 people on. If every single one of us went and got a customer to do a video,
I've got an idea then, because I was saying to Danny that Becky Taylor wants to interview. Well, said that Danny wants to help me to build my business, and she said she'd interview me on my timeline. And then when I watch her, she's just talking all the time about LifeVantage and the yellow pill, and I don't want that on my timeline. So I'm going to ask her instead if she'll put it in the Improve Your Health group. We could make a big fuss about it, because we've got Becky Taylor coming to interview me about LifeVantage, customer prospecting, all about the products in there. And then obviously what we'd do is just say, right, everybody, Becky Taylor is going to interview Joe on Tuesday at whatever time, and get your customers to come and look at it as well.
Brilliant. Well, can I add to that? Because when we were in Bahamas, I spoke to G Fletcher. G's a Pro 7 in Australia, and she was telling me that what she is doing, or what she did, first one she did was she got a woman called Jackie Shepherd, who's an author of an amazing book. I can't remember the name of it, but she agreed that she would live stream into this Facebook group an interview with this woman, Jackie Shepherd. But what she did was she wrote a script and gave it to everybody in her team and said, go do a Facebook Live on your Facebook wall and say, oh, I'm really excited. I'm tuning in tomorrow night at 8:00 to watch a live interview with Jackie Shepherd, author of XYZ book, who has set up a school for autistic children and blah, 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 blah. Really kind of, profile Jackie Shepherd really, really well. And said, it's a private group. Personally message me if you want to be added. So Groyne said they had 750 people added to the group.
Wow.
In a 24-hour period. Now, she has sent me the interview with Jackie Shepherd, but she said I can't share it with anyone, and I've got to honor her trust in giving it to me. And it's a really good interview, okay? But Jackie Shepherd said she would do one for us. Okay, so that's a good thing. But G also said to me the other day, she would give me the scripts and the exact instructions that she gave out to her team to go live and fill the group up. So if we were to do that, like, can you imagine, if we all got I know some of us have larger teams than others. We're all the same team, of course, but, Dee might be thinking, well, I'll probably have 3 willing people from my team. Eileen will probably go, I might have 6 willing members who would do that. But if we could get voices out on their social media, on their Facebook platform going, anybody want to tune in and listen to this interview? It's in a private group. You just need to message me and give me permission to add you to the group. We could fill that group up. And I think that's how we relaunch the group.
We need to get some fresh energy in that group. It's gone stale, hasn't it?
But I think you've got to take Danny's point. It's no point. No, people won't accept our upline as such. I think you're right. It's somebody who is a name somewhere else who is using the product. And I think if we just check who our customers are, we might have a budding author. It's got to know who actually are our customers that would then be willing to come on and do that interview. Well, that could be really powerful.
I've got a couple of things in the pipeline that I haven't gone anywhere yet, but long story short, at my brother's wedding, I ended up making friends with my new sister-in-law's aunt, who happens to be an author, and she writes books on anti-aging, nutrition and skin. And a week ago, 10 days ago, I ended up in a sort of massive £4 million house in Notting Hill that happened to be the author of an incredibly well-known series of cookery books. Both of them and another lady couldn't get over what I was telling them about NRF2. And I'm trying to get a kind of lunch or a coffee in the diary with them. They would be the sort of people who have
They're exactly the sort of people.
Now that could take 6 weeks to happen, given their kind of jet-setty people.
But those 6 weeks are the time to plan everything else in the background.
Yeah, but I also I do think in the meantime we could do something short term, like if we could get somebody. But you're right.
What I was thinking as well, your training in the 90-day group, you know, the 2020 10 type thing, we need to spend 10 minutes going into all our posts and liking them and adding them. We need to invest some time in the group. I'm one of the worst offenders. If I'm there, I'll do it, I'll comment. But I need to be more disciplined about going in and commenting and supporting each other. So it's just about making it an hour and 10 minutes and doing that.
Yeah, no, completely. But I think if we can get a plan in place, I think launch it with an interview with a credible source.
Interview Danny Osmond.
Danny Osmond would be very good.
I'll do that. I volunteer.
Pay him one for the team.
You're showing your age, Eileen.
I know. He was my first love.
You know, Montel Williams.
Yeah.
Supposed to be. Well, Jeanette McSkimmon on her Facebook the other day shared Montel Williams, and he was endorsing the CBD oil, and he was putting it all down his MS how the CBD oil is really helping him. So that's not trying to put a negative on it, but that's a celebrity that's obviously talked about our product, and then I've sat there and watched the whole interview about how he's gone on about how the CBD oil has helped his MS. So I don't know. That's when they're getting paid, you see. Money talks.
Things like that don't bother me because, you know, look, David Beckham is Nike and Gillette, and
I don't even know.
They're still highly influenced by celebrities.
Yeah,
I'm going to be working on. Well, my cousin, I've got a mega rich cousin near Bournemouth who's got a whole polo team, and I keep chatting up his Argentinian, not. I'm in contact with one of the Argentinian trainers, so that's why I wish we had Axio here already, because obviously the Axio along for recovery for sportsmen. Oh no, it's my daughter's boyfriend's car. Now he's ruining my conversation. He's caught his exhaust pipe on my gate coming in my farm. I've been cleaning my daughter's car the whole time, ready to sell it tomorrow. Now, sorry about this, ladies. I'm muting for a moment. Hold on. Carry on.
Honestly, if she's not just finding Argentinian polo players, she's having trouble with that farm.
Listen, I've got to hop off.
I've got to go.
These are all good ideas, and I think everybody's buying into them. It's just a matter of who and when, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're all going to be together on Saturday, so we can carry on the conversation on Saturday.
We can do great conversations there. Yeah.
Well, you can. Thank you, Jo, for organising it. Lovely to see you all.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Okay. See you later. All right.
You.
Bye.
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 Bye.